I welcome you all to Access Sydney's virtual annual general meeting. Whoops, what happened? For 2021.
Changed.
Can I not be spotlighted, please? I have to look at me. Welcome everyone to the meeting, people who are joining us on Zoom and those around the table. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we meet on today and the land that we live and work on. Pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. We have a few apologies for the meeting today. Am I on the right track? Yes. Helen Shive, Leonore Marone and Celeste Shaw. Celeste is one of our board members. Move on to the minutes from the 2020 AGM. Would someone who was at that meeting please move that they are a true and accurate record of the meeting? Nelson?
No, I'm happy to.
And Rob, thank you. Was there any business arising out of that meeting? So as I recall, any questions that were asked, if they were operational, were passed on to the operational team, and there were no questions recorded relevant to governance. So reports. So I'll start with the chairperson's report. I'm pleased to present the Chair's annual report for 2021. The responsibility of the board is to set the strategic direction, manage risk, ensure compliance with Access Sydney Community Transport's constitution, contracts, legislation, and to ensure that organisation finances are used for the purpose for which they're granted. An equally important responsibility is to ensure a positive workplace culture. We had COVID-19 again this year, so supporting the management team through the COVID epidemic was our priority this year. Implementing strategies to protect the health and safety of our team members and clients involved carefully planned service provision, offering only essential services at times. Commonwealth Government directives, public health orders and New South Wales health advice changed on a daily or weekly basis, and the Access Sydney Community Transport team was agile and quick to respond. Thanks to government support measures, we were able to keep most people employed. As COVID restrictions are lifting, plans to bring our services back online are underway, and we look forward to our full range of services being available again. Our financial health. Access Sydney receives funding from a range of sources, including the Commonwealth Department of Health, New South Wales Health, Transport for New South Wales, City of Sydney, and a number of private contracts. Reduced services had a negative impact on our ability to meet our funding requirements in terms of the number of trips and hours of service by up to 40%. Where safe and appropriate, services were adapted to meet clients' individual needs. As you'll see in the audited financial report, the organisation is financially healthy with an equity of $3,797,000 as at the 30th of June. Further detail can be found in the audited finance reports, and the Treasurer will give his report a bit later. Our future, the government funding for community transport organisations and other services funded under the Commonwealth Home Support Program is due to change from July 2023. That's if it doesn't change again. Plans are underway to restructure community home care, to restructure community services and home care packages, and one other program that I haven't put in here, short-term something or other. Details are yet to be announced. Access Sydney is working with Community Transport Organisation, the peak body for community transport providers in New South Wales, to engage with government and lobby for continued access to affordable transport for frail older people and people with a disability. Work on partnerships and other initiatives to grow Access Sydney has begun. Strategies are also underway to build on our social enterprise activities and offer a wider range of services. The Access Sydney team. At Access Sydney, we have a dedicated and skilled team from a diverse range of backgrounds which align with the needs of our clients. On behalf of the board, I thank every one of them for their commitment to Access Sydney and our clients, particularly through the uncertainty of COVID-19. Unfortunately, our CEO, Carla, was injured early in 2021 and required a long period of recovery. We're happy to see her back on deck now. And during Carla's absence, our new business operations manager, Joanne Robertson, took the reins as acting CEO and continued Carla's leadership through the challenges of COVID-19. And I'd like to thank them both. I'd like to thank Carla, now that you're back on deck, and Joanne for the great job that you did in that time. I would like to thank the board of directors for their diligent efforts, mainly via Zoom meetings due to COVID-19. Our new treasurer, Arthur Strobierski, for his leadership in overseeing our financial management. Alice Anderson also joined us this year, adding her experience in disability and volunteering to the board's range of skills. This year, we say goodbye to Nelson Contador, who has been on the board for 5 years, mainly serving as treasurer. Nelson has been a great asset to Access Sydney Community Transport, and we thank him for his time and energy. It's also time for me to step down from the board after 6 years. It has been a privilege to be with Access Sydney through many changes, and in particular to work with so many dedicated people, from management to the frontline workers. And I'd like to thank the rest of the board who I didn't name because they're not new or leaving. So I'd like to also thank Rob Macy and Lisa Picassi, and I've said Alice, and I'd like to also thank Celeste Shaw, who can't be with us today. Is that it? That's my report. Thanks for listening. I'm going to pass over now to the CEO to read her report.
Thanks, Chris. I also, sorry, unmute. Sorry about that.
Speaker. Put my speaker down a bit. Blah, blah. So just mute this. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, we're still getting feedback here. 1 second, everyone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. I also would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the various lands on which we all work today. I pay my respects to the elders past and present. As we all know, this past year has been like no other, for me in particular too. During these unprecedented times, our determination to continue to deliver the essential services and remain connected to our clients and communities has certainly been tested. Nevertheless, I'm really proud of the state that, well, I am proud to state that we have been able to respond to this year's challenges with adaptability and resilience, thanks to our employees, our volunteers, and our board of directors who continue to all go above and beyond. At all times, the health and safety of our clients, workforce, and community has been a priority. The team continually collaborates and probably recalibrates and is very responsive to the ever-changing safety requirements, which required prompt adjustments and extra vigilance so that we were able to continue to provide the safe, essential services to our clients. During these times, we're all very aware that connection is vital, and we have been able to provide continued engagement to our clients in various ways. I really urge you to all have a good look at our annual report, which really nicely highlights this engagement and has provided us a great snapshot of our achievements over the past challenging hard year. We also review and monitor our client participation regularly. And when we had a brief moment of easing of restrictions in the early part of this year, We saw a welcomed upturn in our trip numbers compared to other months where COVID transport restrictions were in place. It's very clear that our clients continue to be very keen to be involved in our social outings, and we very much look forward to being able to provide our full services again, hopefully very soon. Our focus areas, as stated in our annual report, continue to remain our strategic priorities. Our strategic objectives are continually reviewed to ensure that they remain aligned with our current environment and our organisational sustainability. As the Chair pointed out and has stated, we are currently challenged as an organisation due to, and the sector is too, due to government funding for the community transport organisations and other services that are funded under the Commonwealth Health Support Program, and they're all due to change from July 2023. Access Sydney is working closely with the sector and the New South Wales peak body to be united in our advocacy approaches and make sure that we have key messages and strong messages in our sector position. We will always continue to maintain and strengthen and establish relationships and partnerships to work together in seeking ways to better assist our clients and communities. I personally am looking very forward with great enthusiasm to working with everyone and excited of the possibilities and opportunities that the new year could bring. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the committed team of staff, especially when I was away. To have Joanne take over as acting CEO is really good. It's been seamless to come back for me. And for that, I thank her very much. And for the rest of the key senior management team, they certainly go above and beyond all the time, and I thank them as well. Volunteers, and in particular to our board of directors, they have been more than supportive, and they have been dedicated to supporting this organisation through this challenging year and through the previous years, and continue to do so. So I'm going to end by saying to Chris and Nelson, words are not enough to say thanks from the organisation of just how much you've contributed and supported us. So thank you all for your time, and roll on 2022.
Thank you, Carla. Whoops, I have to unmute myself. Okay. Thanks, Carla. The next report, we'll move all of the reports at the same time at the end. So I'd like to hand over now to Arthur to read the Treasurer's report.
Faulty laptop, huh? Good afternoon, everyone. Can everybody hear me? All good. Okay. We'll just run through the Treasurer's report for 2021. Look, another challenging year, similar to FY20, significantly impacted by COVID towards the end of the year. However, a very rewarding year for the whole team. During the year, we said goodbye to the old Ultimo office and moved into our new premises at Homebush, and that decision will deliver significant property rental savings moving forward and eliminate duplication. During the second half of the year, we also welcomed Joanne Robertson, ASCT Sydney, as Business Operations Manager, and Joanne comes with extensive financial and management experience across the non-profit sector. We continue to obviously rely on government funding, which is a big source of our revenue, delivering about 64% of the total pool. Primarily, this is made up of CHSP funding, which is administered by Transport New South Wales. And recently, that's been extended to June 2023. Once again, our financial position is quite healthy, as Chris alluded to earlier in her report. Our pre-tax surplus or profit was around the 520,000 mark, and coincidentally, this was very similar to the prior year. The cash at the beginning of the year was 2.9 million and closed the year at 4.5, which is an increase of around 55%. The increase in cash holdings was largely due to a cash flow boost from the ATO, along with various government stimulus packages relating to COVID-19. Total income was reported at 5.8 million, which was an increase of 6.2% on prior year. And once again, various stimulus packages contributed to the overall increase. Our total expenses, 5.3 million rounded up, although this was an increase of around 6.7% as a percentage of total income, on par with the prior year as well. Additional costs were incurred, as unlike any other business, due to COVID-19 safety plans and measures, and an increase in depreciation for right-of-use assets. Significant savings, as I alluded to before, were made on property rental costs with the elimination of duplicate rent. Our salaries and wages also increased by 8% on prior year and resulted from JobKeeper employee top-up payments and also various year-end provisions. The year ahead, so just looking a little bit outlook, the key challenge, I guess, will be to formulate an adequate strategy to take the business forward, irrespective of future government funding, potentially moving to a self-funding commercial model. As part of the future strategy, Access Sydney senior management team will also look at to develop and upgrade internal systems and review business processes as we reinvest in new projects to provide improved financial performance and adequate returns. From my perspective and the entire board, I'd like to thank the entire Access community for delivering another fantastic financial result during difficult times, and most importantly, keeping all our staff safe during this year just passed. Thank you very much, and I'm introducing John Mayat now as the auditor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Maher from Moore, Australia, auditors to Access Sydney Community Transport. Firstly, before I get to the audit report, I'd like to thank the management staff and board for their assistance throughout the audit process. Very seamless process as always, and thanks to Joanne and Jing in particular for their assistance at all times throughout the audit. Made my job a hell of a lot easier than can be at times, and much appreciation goes to those two people for their assistance at all times. In relation to the audit itself, as I said, it was a very seamless process. We have included our audit opinion in the financial statements, and our audit opinion is unqualified again for 2021. I would like to point out that we've included a paragraph in relation to going concern. That was purely on the basis of the changing circumstances around funding that were potentially going to happen in 2022. We've, since the audit has been finalised, we realised that that paragraph, it's probably not going to happen, that funding will be in place in 2022, and there are no financial issues to be concerned about from a company level. Absolutely no other issues to report, no frauds, no suspected fraud, no issues to be brought to the attention of management or the board. Very, very clean audit, and every year is the same, unqualified audit opinion, and the staff cooperation is absolutely exemplary. So thank you very much for everyone at Access Sydney for their help throughout the audit process.
Thank you, John, and thank you for your continued support of the organisation. I'd like to move the chair and the CEO's report and the treasurer's report together, and then separately the audited report, if everyone's okay with that. So would someone please move that the chair, the CEO and the treasurer's report be accepted? Rob and Nelson. And would someone, and second, please? Oh, yes, first and second, isn't it? I've got two. And the audited report, would people move and second the audited report? When did I see? Oh, Alice, sorry, I forgot to look at the people. Where are you, Lisa? Oh, there. Are you happy to move and second that?
Yes, I can.
Yep, okay. I wasn't looking.
Yeah, that can
Thank
be
you,
moved or second, whatever you want
Alice
me to
and
do.
Lisa. So now it is time to declare all positions vacant on the board and pass over to Luke Barnett. Hi, Luke. See you there. Your headphones on.
Yes, hello. How you going? Can you hear me okay?
To act as returning officer for the elections. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Oh, you can hear? Okay, that's great. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you again for the opportunity to be part of today's AGM. We have 2 directors that will be retiring this year. This applies to Chris Spackman and Nelson Contador. I'd also like to acknowledge Chris and Nelson for their contribution and ongoing effort as community directors for Access Sydney Community Transport. Today we have 1 nomination for 2021-22, that being Michelle Newman. Now, are we looking for someone to be nominated by? That's Robert. And a second, someone to second that? Lisa, thank you. So, so the directors for 2021-22 will be Celeste Shaw, Lisa Parsi, Alice Anderson, Robert Macy, and Michelle Newman. Thank you very much, and congratulations to those committee members.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait on. Oh, you forgot. Okay. Okay. Thank you, John. I skipped it seems to be something I always do at every AGM. I skip something on the agenda and, oh, sorry, Luke, sorry, Luke. It's only because you're not here, all right? I can't see your face properly. I'm sorry
that's all
about
good.
that. Thanks for doing that again this year.
No problem.
So I skipped over the part where we where we normally appoint the auditor for this current financial year, 21-22. So would someone, would a member please like to nominate John Maher again for this financial year? Do I have a look here? Anybody? Arthur and Lisa. Okay, thank you. So, well, that brings the meeting to a close. That's all the official business. So everyone who's here is going to be very well fed. Those of you who couldn't come, you've got to go and look in your own kitchen or tea room and get your own afternoon tea. Sorry about that. But thank you for attending. And I'm sorry I didn't see you, Michelle. I was hoping to catch up with you. See you soon somewhere else. Okay.
Sorry that I couldn't be there.
Well, goodbye, everyone. That's the meeting closed now at 3:24. Thank you for coming. Bye. Bye.